I am in my 70s now. Some days I say I am 73, some days 75. At this age, numbers don't matter much. What matters is experience. When you live this long, life slows down. You don't rush anymore. You sit quietly, you think, and you remember. When I was young, religion was a big part of my life. I was born into it. I did not choose it. My parents and elders told me what to believe. They said, "This is right. That is wrong." I trusted them because I was a child. At that time, religion felt like something very serious and very powerful. As years passed, I lived life. I worked, I struggled, I loved, I lost people. Life taught me lessons that no book ever did. Slowly, my thoughts about religion began to change. Not suddenly. Very slowly. Like the sun moving across the sky. Now, in old age, I look at religion differently. I am not against it. I am not blind to it either. I just see it more clearly. I ask questions I never asked before. I think thoughts I was once afraid to think. This story is not to fight anyone's belief. It is not to say who is right or wrong. It is simply my journey. My honest thoughts after many years of living. If you stay with me till the end, maybe you will see your own story hidden inside mine. When I was a child, religion was taught with fear. Nobody said this openly, but it was always there. Fear of God. Fear of punishment. Fear of doing something wrong. I learned how to pray before I learned how to understand. Adults told us many rules. Do this. Don't do that. Follow the path or you will suffer. I believed them because I had no reason not to. In my young mind, God felt like a strict teacher who was always watching. I remember praying not because I felt love, but because I felt scared. Scared of hell. Scared of sin. Scared of questions. Asking why was not allowed. Faith meant silence. Religion felt heavy at that age. It was like carrying a bag full of rules on my small shoulders. I wanted to be good, not because I understood goodness, but because I wanted to avoid punishment. Now, when I look back, I don't blame my elders. They taught what they were taught. They believed fear keeps people on the right path. But fear does not open the heart. It only closes it. This was my first lesson about religion, even though I did not understand it at that time. As I grew older, my world became bigger. I met people from different religions and different backgrounds. Some prayed in ways I had never seen. Some did not pray at all. At first, this felt strange to me. I was taught that my religion was the right one. Others were wrong or lost. But when I looked at these people, I saw something confusing. Many of them were kind. They were honest. They helped others. Some were better human beings than people from my own religion. This made me think quietly. If religion decides goodness, then why were good people everywhere? Why did love and kindness exist outside my belief? I did not argue with anyone. I did not change my religion. I just observed. Slowly, small cracks appeared in my old thinking. I noticed that every religion says the same thing. We are right. That felt very human, not very divine. I started to feel that religion might be shaped by culture and tradition. God, if real, must be bigger than any single path. These thoughts stayed inside me. I was not ready to speak them yet, but something had already changed, and there was no going back. In my middle years, I started seeing religion from a different angle. I noticed how often it was used to control people. Leaders spoke in the name of God, and people listened without question. They were told how to dress, how to live, what to believe, and sometimes even who to love. This made me uncomfortable. I saw fear being used again, just like in childhood. But now it was bigger. Religion was no longer only personal. It was social. It was political. It was power. I watched people fight over beliefs. Families broke apart. Communities became divided. Everyone said they were defending God. I quietly asked myself, would a true God want humans to hate each other in his name? That question stayed with me for a long time. Slowly, I began to separate two ideas in my mind. God and religion were not the same. Religion was made by people. God, if real, must be beyond rules, books, and buildings. This thought felt like a door opening. I didn't feel angry. I felt lighter. I realized I did not have to protect religion anymore. I only had to protect my humanity. There came a time when I felt my faith becoming weaker. First, this scared me. I had always believed that religion was the foundation of being a good person. I asked myself, if I let go of religion, will I lose my morals too? But life surprised me. Even as my beliefs changed, my values stayed strong. I still felt pain when others suffered. I still cared about honesty, kindness, and fairness. I still wanted to help people when I could. Nothing inside me disappeared. That's when I understood something important. Goodness does not belong only to religion. Being a good human does not require fear or strict belief. It comes from empathy, from understanding pain, and from shared human experience. Religion did not create my kindness. Life did. Loss did. Love did. This realization brought freedom. I stopped forcing myself to believe things that no longer felt true. I trusted my inner voice instead of outside rules. I was not becoming empty. I was becoming honest. And honesty, I learned, is a deeper kind of faith. As my beliefs changed, my idea of God also changed. Before, God felt strict and distant, like a judge watching every move. Now, that image slowly faded away. Today, my idea of God is very soft and simple. I don't see God as angry or punishing. I don't even know if God is a person at all. Maybe God is energy. Maybe God is love. Maybe God is the quiet balance of nature that keeps everything moving. I no longer believe God is impressed by prayers, rituals, or loud words. If God exists, I feel kindness matters more than anything else. How we treat people feels more important than how often we pray. This new view brings peace. There is no fear now. No pressure to be perfect. No worry about being punished for small mistakes. I feel free to be human. I don't argue with people who believe differently. Everyone has their own path. This is simply where mine has led me. At this age, peace feels more valuable than certainty. And this softer idea of God gives me that peace. In old age, many people turn back to religion. I understand why. When the body becomes weak, the mind thinks more about death. Fear slowly returns, just like in childhood. But I don't want faith that comes from fear anymore. I spent enough of my life being afraid. Now I want understanding and acceptance. Death does not scare me the way it used to. It feels natural, like the end of a long day. When you work all day, sleep is not scary. It is rest. I see death in the same way. I don't worry much about heaven or hell. I focus on how I live today. Did I speak kindly? Did I hurt someone? Did I listen when someone needed me? These questions matter more to me now. Religion used to give me answers. Now silence gives me answers. Nature gives me answers. Sitting quietly and watching life gives me answers. Old age has taught me something simple but powerful. Peace is more important than belief. And peace comes when we stop fighting life and start accepting it. As I grow older, I think a lot about what I want to pass on to the younger generation. I don't want to give them fear. I don't want to give them blind belief. I want to give them strength and clarity. I don't tell them what religion to follow. I don't tell them what God looks like. Instead, I tell them to ask questions. I tell them it is okay to doubt. Doubt does not make you weak. It makes you honest. I teach them to respect all religions, because respect creates peace. But I also teach them not to follow anyone blindly, because blind following creates control. I tell them one simple thing: be a good human first. Be kind when you can. Be honest even when it is hard. Help others not because a book tells you to, but because your heart understands pain. If they grow up with compassion and open minds, I feel my job is done. Beliefs may change with time, but values should stay strong. This is the lesson life taught me slowly, and this is the lesson I choose to pass on. Today, I don't label myself as religious or non-religious. Labels create walls, and I am tired of walls. I don't need a name to explain who I am anymore. I wake up, I breathe, and I feel thankful. That feels enough. I don't follow strict rituals. I don't fear missing prayers. Instead, I try to live with awareness. I try to be gentle with people and also with myself. I have learned that peace does not come from being right. It comes from being calm. It comes from letting others believe what they want without feeling threatened. I sit quietly sometimes and watch the world move. The sky doesn't argue. Trees don't fight. Rivers don't choose sides. They simply exist. There is a lesson in that. If there is something divine, I feel it in silence, not in noise. I feel it in kindness, not in rules. This stage of life is not about proving anything. It is about letting go. Letting go of anger. Letting go of fear. Letting go of the need to convince others. What remains is simple peace. I shared my story because I know many people feel confused about religion. They question, they doubt, but they stay silent. You are not alone. My journey took many years. I grew up with fear. I followed rules I did not understand. I questioned quietly. I saw how religion can divide, how it can control, and how it can also bring comfort. I lost faith and found it again in a different way. I realized that goodness does not come from religion alone. It comes from life, from love, and from the choices we make every day. At the end of life, I understand one thing clearly. Being kind, being honest, helping others, these matter more than any ritual, any book, or any label. Peace matters more than being right. So, here is my message. Live fully, think freely, and love deeply. Question without fear. Choose kindness over rules. Respect all paths but walk your own. Life is short, and understanding yourself is the greatest lesson of all. If you take one thing from my story, let it be this. You don't need fear to guide you, only your heart. Trust it, and it will never lead you wrong.